Hi, welcome back to the channel. I want to say thank you to Engwe for sending us this LE20 cargo bike and passenger bike, and this is for their super duper Black Friday sales, so please check the link in the description. I have a full bike workshop here in the Pyrenees. We run a cycling company, so I have got lots of rental bikes here. I've got all the tools, the stands, everything required to maintain and build bikes. But I wanted to show on the Engwe that you don't need all of that. They provide all the tools necessary to build that bike up. And you can build it in your front hall like I'm showing here, and it's simple. You take it out of the box and you build it. Anybody can build it anywhere you want. It is definitely packed well. I tend to put the front wheel in first, and this gives a good base for the rest of the install. And then I go to the handlebars, just putting them in loosely for now. We've got to tighten up everything else and to get them all in line at a later date. Mudguard and light go on next, and just a little bit of fiddling around just to get them all nice and straight and square. Then the pedals, which are all nicely labelled left and right. There is only one way these can go on, and a little bit of fettling will show you how to do this. And the backlight goes on nicely. We were given the option for the child carrier, which is this fence that goes round the seats. So I'm going to install that now before we get out with the kids on a test ride. There's two Allen bolts just here already on the frame, and that's going to hold this bracket here. I'm removing the small Allen bolts and replacing it with slightly longer ones. Tightening them up, still using the toolkit provided by Engwe. The next stage is to put the backrest up. So there's two bolts, these knurled sort of nuts here, that sit underneath and basically hold the pad seats. So you take those out, and the front one, you basically lift the saddle, remove the battery, and then you can get your hand underneath. So slide those out, they're on a little slider, and those bolts basically tighten up underneath there. So take the back one off. There's no need to take the front one off, although I have anyway, but I just wanted to see. So that's the solid, absolutely solid, beautiful welds here. And then you take the backrest, and there's three countersunk screws that you basically match up with the holes on the back here. Take the small nuts. Now this is a bit fiddly. Oh, cinch him up. Right, they're the three, so that's pretty solid. This seat is supposed to slide on like this, although I'm not sure now whether it is supposed to slide on. It looks like it, like that. But then you can't get that bracket, the bolts in for the bracket. So what I've done is taken the four screws out of the back of the seat back. So that goes through there, and then on to this bracket. Now there might be another way of doing this, but this is the way, the only way I could figure it out from. You can't just slide this seat over because this bracket's in the way. Just cinch them up. So now this seat should fit nicely like that. So I've got bolts to put in so the actual seat fits against the metal bracket, but I've also got the four screws that attach the back plate to the back of the seat. Right, it's a good time now to get the seats back on so I can show you key, turn, battery out, and that gives you plenty of room under here. So put the small seat in first. Actually, I'm going to put the rear seat in first because it locks backwards. So you just locate, push, locate. Where are they? There, push back, and then these knurled nuts, you just have to find the hole. And the rear one, you can get your hand around the back here and just cinch him up. And then just put the battery back in. So he goes all the way down. And you just have to locate him, and that's it. So the fence will go onto the front. It's probably good to actually just attach it at the back with this latch. And then down here at the front, you can just fix him over. Oh, take the key out. Onto that, and then put this small bracket on here with the 2 remaining Allen bolts. There is a plastic bush here to act as a hinge. Release this latch, and that then comes up. You place the 2 children on the back, and then this comes down and snaps into place, and that's all secure. These tighten up. There. So we do have a bag. I'm going to attempt to put the bag on because it is like a puzzle, and that is a waterproof. It's not just a bag you drop the kids in. It is a waterproof sort of cover, so they don't get any spray or anything like that. So I'm going to attempt to put it on and then show you afterwards. Well, I think we've got the bag on correctly. There's basically 100 zips and 100 Velcro straps, and somehow there's little pockets that you might fold these into. I've got no instructions, but it looks about right. So the kids' legs can go through, and I think they'll feel a little bit more secure. Even if I had the foot plates, and now Engwe have told me that they're basically out of stock of the foot plates. So I'm going to probably fabricate some this week and get them in, and I'll have them a little higher because their legs are only diddy, so they should feel nice and safe now. So let's go through the computer and show you that. So to turn him on, there's a little orange button underneath. You hold that for a few seconds and the display will come on. Now the display shows both the batteries up here, which are both 100%. So the front battery and the rear battery. It shows the speed, the trip, but the trip can also be adjusted by using the M button, and that will go trip, odometer, average speed, maximum speed, and trip time. The plus and minus, the plus will go on to the power assisted. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and red for 5. Nice in colour. This is really, really nice compared to the other Engwe displays. And minus will take it all the way back down to off, which is basically under your own steam. If you hold the plus button, and this took me a while to figure out, if you hold the plus button, the lights will come on, the light indicator comes on the display, and the display dims. So you have a front light and a rear light, and I'll turn those off by holding the plus button again. And then on this set of handlebars, or the side of the handlebars, are the indicators. So press once for the right, press again to turn him off, or press left for the left, and again to turn him off. And then you've got the nice Shimano gears here, 7-speed, all pretty much standard on all of their bikes. Now the brakes are hydraulic disc brakes. The first battery is on the down tube here, and you've got a small indicator switch just there. The second battery is on the the seat tube, and the indicator is at the bottom here, all green. Now the motor on this bike, which is new to me because the other Engwe bikes we have, the motor is hidden away in the rear hub, but this one is on the bottom bracket, basically between the pedals. So it's quite a nice system. The 7-speed derailleur is pretty much the same for all Engwe bikes, but the only difference, because of the length of the bike, it has an additional tensioner here. Because if not, that chain would just be flapping all over the floor. But look at the build quality on this. Look at the welds on it. Everything is pretty good. You couldn't ask for much better, especially when you're going to be carrying the little kids in the back. This cargo bike has got the bracket for quite a big front rack basket. Now, it didn't come as standard, but we have ordered the front basket, and as soon as we get it, we'll stick it on. This bike has a range of 350 kilometers, which is near enough like an electric car. It runs off dual 2 48 volt 19.2 amp hour batteries. So that is 1,844 watt hours. Compared to its nearest rival here in France, the Decathlon R500 has only got 672 watt hours, and the Turn GSD 399 watt hours, and a mere morsel of the distance this bike can go. But it is the cheapest out of all three. At its non-discounted rate, it is still only 1,999 euros. But if you check out my referral code in the description, you'll get another €100 off using the coupon code Wright. But the best thing about this bike is you can go to the school, pick up the grandkids, take them home to their parents, and just potter off to the shops, and then all of this cover here will zip together to form a big bag. You can chuck your shopping in the back and off you go home. So this as a cargo and passenger bike is fantastic, and I'm really pleased that Engwe sent us this bike, so we can do a review on it. So far, great.
Does Margot love this bike?
Yes!
Ready? 3, 2,
1!
go!
Hello!
Bye bye! I just received the basket from Engwe. I purchased this because I thought it's a much better idea to have something where you can put the bags in the front and the kids on the back. Again, using the tools Engwe supplied, but if you do have a larger Allen key, it might be a little easier. I'm going to put this little plate back on, so I quite like it. I'm just using the same Allen bolts, although the rack, I keep calling it a rack, the basket did come with another set. So it is perfect. Bags in the front, kids on the back. So another really well made, solid, well, it's tubular steel, all nice welds, basket for the front, proper cargo bike now. Just want to say thanks again to Engwe for sending this bike. We love it. I'm going to hand this over to my son now, and he's going to be taking his kids to school on it because all their friends' dads are taking them on their bikes. So yeah, thanks again. See you later.
I love it.